Hey guys, if you're on the hunt for a lightweight camera with impressive specs to meet all your content creation needs, you're in the right place. Today I'll be going over why I believe the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 could be the perfect camera for you. So stick around and let's explore this camera together. I got it right here. This thing is the bee's knees. Oh my god, I just freaking love it. Look at that. Now I want to talk about my use cases, okay? I am a content creator. I make short form content, whether it's TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or Instagram Reels. I do them all. And I also make YouTube videos, and sometimes I travel here and there. So I would like to capture some footage when I'm out and about in a new country or a foreign place. With that being said, we gotta talk about what made this camera so attractive for someone like me, and that is its size. This camera is tiny, like really tiny compared to what I normally shoot with. It's usually a mirrorless camera setup. Sometimes I don't want to be bothered with busting out such a big piece of equipment if I just want to make some short form content. You gotta take out the camera, you gotta mount the lens on, and then you have to put on the shotgun mic and maybe add a video monitor to monitor yourself. And just thinking about all that steps just like stops me from actually doing any of the work. It becomes very overwhelming. Now, what I like about the Pocket 3 is they take that stress out for me. This camera has everything set up for me. All I have to do is just flip this and it turns on. And there I am. It turns on right away and I can start monitoring myself from the screen. It's really simple. Another example that I use this camera for is using it as my top-down camera. So this is great for, those unboxing videos where you film it from the top down. And I've done that a few times for my social media already. And people love seeing that stuff. And the footage that I got looks really good. And it's because it's so light and so nimble that, again, the setup time is just so quick. I can monitor myself with this camera while using the DJI Mimo app when I need like a monitoring assist tool, which is really great. Now, another way I've been using this camera is for documenting my travels. About a month ago, I was in the UK for the holidays. I took this camera out at Piccadilly Circus area. Now, London has a lot of people and I get nervous about taking my mirrorless camera out in the open like that, especially with like so many people around. There's just like so many people in London. Call me paranoid, call me crazy, whatever it is, but I don't want people to notice that I'm lugging around a couple of mirrorless cameras in my backpack. So because of that fear, I just opted to get the DJI Pocket 3 instead. Again, it's small, it's inconspicuous, and it just looks like a toy. No one would be the wiser. I just felt more relaxed with this out in the open. And let's face it, if I were to get robbed, knock on wood, if there was a preference to lose one, I would prefer to lose this one other than the more expensive stuff. You get what I mean? Now let's talk about another thing that I like about this camera, and that is the image quality. I love it. This is some of the best footage that I've seen from DJI cameras. I film in 4K 24 and 4K 60 for slow motion. I film it on D-Log-M to do color grading. So I'm not going to talk about 4K 120 in this video at all. So if you want that information, you have to seek that elsewhere. I do not touch 4K 120. After I apply some LUTs onto the D-Log-M footage, it came out looking real good. I was really impressed with the image quality that is coming out of this tiny little camera. Like, it's so freaking tiny. Like, for scale, this is my iPhone Pro 13, and that is freaking DJI Osmo Pocket. I am really impressed with the power on this camera. Like, the image quality is something that you probably see like a point and shoot camera. It's really good, but it's in this small little packet. I visited Oxford and I did a tour around the campus, and I was able to film some parts of the school, and I just thought the focal length was just perfect. I also tried to do some inception shots where the gimbal rotates, and I thought that looked very cool as well. I did that a few times in the campus. I want to talk about another thing that is good for it. It is vlogging. I'm not a vlogger, but I can see myself vlogging here and there because of ease of use of this. I set up like a mirrorless camera with an ultra wide lens with a shotgun mic, and ND filters, and you also need a tripod. That takes up a lot of footprint, but then you have the Osmo Pocket 3 right here that can do all that in a much smaller footprint. And don't forget that this camera is attached to a three-axis gimbal right here. So you're going to get some nice stabilized vlogging footage. Whereas when I'm vlogging, right, I'm going to be taking out the Fujifilm X-T5, the Viltrox 13mm f1.4, ND filter, shotgun mic. Again, so much to set up just to talk on the camera for like 30 seconds. I wouldn't be as nerve-wracking holding this against my face versus holding a mirrorless camera against my face. And the mic inside this camera doesn't sound too bad either. All right, testing. This is the onboard mic. How does it sound? Does it sound good? I'm just gonna do some running. Wow, the sun looks so nice. The sun looks so good. Now, one feature that I really like is the vertical shooting mode. You gotta turn on the screen, and after that, you just flip it back into vertical. And then you press continue. And then now you are in vertical shooting mode right there. You know, use this to make short form content. And this is what I've been using to make my short form content for Instagram Reels, TikToks, and YouTube Shorts. But there is a caveat. I thought in vertical shooting mode, it was gonna do what the DJI Mini 4 did, which is to give you a true vertical format shooting by just turning the gimbal vertically. But this is not the case with the Osmo Pocket 3. Once you change it to vertical shooting mode, the max resolution you're going to get is 3K vertical shooting, which is still pretty good. It's better than 1080p, but it's not as much as 4K, obviously. It's not a deal breaker, but it would have been nice to get like true 4K video vertical shooting. And if you're like me and you got the content creator combo, there are things you can mount on this camera, such as, and as a creator kit, you get one of these. You get the ND filters. You also get an extra battery handle to add extra batteries. And then at the bottom, you got a 1/4 inch. This is the tripod, everybody. It looks pretty good. And you also got this little thingy. This is just another attachment. It's not a battery handle, but it has a filter, 1/4 inch filter thread, so that you can mount this onto anything with a 1/4 inch screw. Also in this creator pack, you have this right here, the DJI mic. And I think this is one of the best mics that you can get at the moment. It's like so good. It's so clear. I like using this. So this all comes with creator pack, and you also have this bag right here. You put everything inside. You also have the case to put your Osmo Pocket 3 in. So this is what you get in the creator combo pack, and I recommend. Another thing that I like from this creator kit, and I think it is a very great tool to have in my content creation kit, is their wireless mic that you get with it. What I love about this mic is it also has internal storage, and it records everything inside this mic. I believe it has 8 gigs of internal memory, which will give you many hours of audio recording. What I also like about this is you don't need a transmitter to use this mic. As soon as you turn this mic on, you can use it right away with the Osmo Pocket 3. But wait, there's more. Because it's recording in 32-bit, you have a lot of information, and essentially you worry less about your audio being clipped. I've actually been using this mic to record some of my other YouTube videos as well. I've been using this mic more than I've been using the Osmo Pocket, so that says something about this mic. It's a very good mic for your content creation needs. I've tested out the photography side of the Osmo Pocket 3, and I like the fact that this camera can shoot in RAW. I used it to capture some thumbnails, and I think that it has a really good amount of data to work with. So if you guys are ever in a pinch and you want to take some photos as well, this camera does take good images. Another thing that I like is their tracking mode. Again, this is great if you want the gimbal to follow you around. And I think this is a great way to add some dynamic shots into your footage. It locks onto me very well, and it doesn't go away. All right, so this is the dynamic tracking right here. What it's doing is it's placing me in the 1/3 of a frame. This is where I want it to be. So every time I try to move, it's gonna smartly place me on the frame. How does that look? That's a pretty cool, neat feature, huh? What if I go far away? I want to see how far I can go. Does it still? It looks like it's still capturing me in this. Oh, there's a black cat looking at me. Hi, kitty. What if I go this way? It still follows me. And then I psych him out. And then I psych him out. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, guys. Look at that. It's freaking good. That's pretty cool. Now let's move on to some things that I don't like. The thing that I don't like is the build quality. I feel like it's lacking something. Like if I were to drop this right now, it'll be over. It's basically a large screen with a battery and a camera. If you drop the screen, it's an OLED screen. It looks very, very fragile. If you drop it, you need to get it replaced. If you drop it on the camera, you're gonna need to like get the gimbal or the camera replaced. It's not instilling much confidence in me right now, so I have to be extra cautious when I'm using this outdoors or when I'm using it at all. Another thing that I don't like is the touchscreen. I feel it's not as responsive as I would like. Every time I try to do a swipe or just touch stuff to switch modes, it feels a little bit laggy, and it does get a little bit annoying and frustrating at times because of this. It's just a bit laggy for my liking, so I hope with future firmware updates, this could be fixed. But other than that, I've been quite satisfied with my purchase of this camera. It's going to be in the kit for a very long time. It's a great little tool to have whenever I don't feel like using the bigger cameras. With me, that's just the setup time. Just take this out, turn it on, and you're ready to go. Sometimes I don't really care about audio quality. I'm okay with just using this and just set it and forget it. And that's what using this camera does for me. But it's been a great tool to have whenever I don't feel like using the bigger cameras. So there you have it. What are your thoughts on the Osmo Pocket 3? And if you're interested, I'll leave the links to this camera down in the description below. And if you find this video helpful or valuable in any way, consider subscribing for more camera gear content like this. Thanks.